lot of people, and a lot of people represented here, think you became who you are as a consequence of your last name, or as a consequence of kama mzee hangeshinda election hangekuwa hapa. Si ni ukweli nama nasema uongo? Si watu wanauliza hivyo? So I want to answer them. If, for example, this had not happened, would you still be as passionate for the youth as you are today?
Definitely 110,000%. I think it just happened to coincide with Dad becoming president, but the passion had developed. My heart was already in it. I was already doing so much research. So whether he won, whether he didn't, I believe I would still be doing what I'm doing today.
And very interesting about it is the fact that I know you had already started preparing yourself, and obviously as a consequence of Dad becoming president, everything now, I mean, whatever you wanted to do, what you thought you were doing in a very small scale had to be exemplified or put out to the rest of the world. But one thing you always call yourself is a youth champion. Who appointed you? No, nani hapa alipigia Shalin kura? No, I'm going to put it out there. So who appointed you?
Nobody has appointed me. So when I was trying to put a phrase or a term to what I do is I work with the youth. So that's clear. Then what does a champion do? I come from the city of champions, Eldoret. So anyway, champions, we bring up other champions. You can see what Eliud Kipchoge is doing with Faith. He's mentoring her, he's holding her hand, he's bringing her up. So I was thinking, I now have a platform. So I love young people. That's my passion. That's what I love to do. But now I've been given an even bigger platform where I can do this globally, nationally. So I was thinking, how can I do this with young people? So I always tell people what I do is accelerate and amplify the efforts of young people. That's why when Orina shares with you about Brighter Society Initiative, I didn't go and start my own organization that works with young girls. That's something somebody else is an expert in. But how can I amplify and accelerate that effort? And that's what happens with most of the 30 things that we do. We don't do it solely. We were tempted to bring our partners here today, but I really just wanted to spend time with the young people who birthed the 30 things. We'll have another session another time with all our partners. But you find we work with people who are experts in those fields, experts in agriculture, experts in climate action, because we are not the experts and I am not an expert, but I really want to accelerate and amplify the efforts and leading to implementation. I love what I've forgotten her name, but the young deaf lady has said that in our country, we have very good policies, rated globally #1. But really what we are lacking in is implementation. And that's what I really want us to do. How do we accelerate and amplify the implementation efforts of young people?
Interesting. And one thing that's quite synonymous with you is being misunderstood. At one point, you came out and you said, you know what, young people needs to stop, quote unquote, being lazy. That's how it was taken out of context. Young people should get down there, get busy. And you mentioned it a little bit earlier when you said all those guys that came through for Tipney and drew with their pens and pencils are the real OGs, because you embody people that actually take action and just not sit down and wait for the resource to show up. Why do people misunderstand you this much?
Yeah, I think it's the burden and the blessing of the last name. I really respect my father. He's self-built. He's a hustler. And I pray one day I can marry somebody who has the kind of grit that
So there's
he has.
a marriage question asking whether.
There definitely
so
is
that
a
one is out
question.
of the picture. Uh-huh.
So I really admire what he has done with himself. He's built himself. And because he's built himself, I could have a better future. He's always been there for me. He's paid my fees. He's been there for me and my siblings. But then again, I have lived under his shadow, quote unquote, for a long time. He's been in politics for 30 years and I'm 32. So it's only 2 years of my life he was not
And he was preparing to join politics.
He was preparing to join politics, right? So being under the shadow of such a great man has been a burden and a blessing. A burden how? Everywhere you go, the first thing you're considered is Ruto before Charlene. And it has been a pain and also a process to build my own name, to build who I am, because at the end of the day, I am not the president of this country as we speak. He is. He has his own responsibilities. I am Charlene, who loves the young people. And that can easily be misconstrued that, oh, Charlene is... I remember when I first went to the counties, everybody was thinking, I'm going there to push an agenda. Now it's post-election strategy. Charlene is the one who is executing it. But imagine I was just going to plant trees with the communities, and that is all that it was. But I also think, Lotan, because possibly nobody has ever done what I do, nobody who's in my space has ever done what I do, that is why it caused so much upheaval. I sat with one of my mentors in early 2023, and he told me, Charlene, you need to ask yourself, why hasn't any president's daughter ever done what you do? Just sit and ask yourself that question. And I think he meant to ask me that question to discourage me from doing what I do, but it ended up motivating me even more, that if there's nobody who's ever done what I do, then I need to do it even more than I already do, because that means there's nobody who's ever stood up for the young people with that powerful platform that they have.
Please, a round of applause for Charlene. I think that's phenomenal. And of course, and I'm going to speak not really on my behalf, but probably on behalf of many people that are here. And I mean, if my dad was president, I'm just being honest, yeah, he's far from it, but if he was president, I'd be chilling, just living my life, enjoying, just showing up in quote unquote state house, thinking, just living a good life. Why did you, and I know you've mentioned it in bits and pieces and in piecemeal, I mean, you literally didn't sacrifice their life per se, but you just said, I'm going to chart a new course. I'm going to go a different direction. And I'll put my hand up. When she came to me with the 30 things, I was the first person that said, babes, 30 is a little bit too much. Let's take it to 3. Yeah. Took a coffee for so many times. I was like, punguza, usikuwe na, acha nitumie jina, usikuwe na kierere, shukisha kidogo, But you were always insisting. You said, I have a platform. Why were you so passionate? Another thing, when all these things happen out there, sometimes a few of us that are very close to her, sometimes she breaks down. And it gets a little bit too much for her. Is that probably she can't say it and put it out there, but sometimes it really gets to you. Why are you like this? And don't cry.
I think your dad will be crying.
I know, right? Yeah.
But I've never been comfortable. That's not the person that I am. I'm the daughter of a hustler, and I've always been a hustler. And when I shared my hustle story, people thought I was lying. When I shared how I used to sell smoky kachumbari in Daystar, people thought I was lying. But actually, I don't have... Why would I come up with such a story? It was totally real, and you experienced it, Lotan.
Right.
It's unfortunate that my customers didn't come through for me, but I pray in your businesses, your customers can stand for you
In the future.
In the future. So I've always... That's just my personality. I've never been a comfortable person. I mean, when I was finishing high school, I remember having this argument with my big sister because we went to town and I wanted to learn how to go by myself from town to home because I wanted to be self-independent. I didn't want to have to rely on a car or anything. And I wanted to understand how is life really? How is life really? And so I did that for myself. I learned how to use the mat to go home. Even when I was in Daystar, I learned how to go by myself to home. I've always just been this person. It's who I am. I cannot run away from it. And I love it. I love who I am. So then coming to do what I do, it was just very obvious to me that then this is something I have to do. And I have to find and chart my way along it. Yes, my family love me, support me. But let me tell you, the first person who was shocked about everything that happened was me. I was shocked at myself. So even as people were getting shocked, even me, I was getting shocked, like, hiya, what am I doing? But it's just the passion and love for the young people that has led me to be where I am today.
Interesting. And of course, the whole Smoky Kachumbari story is a whole new meme by itself. I mean, took days and ends on trends and people were talking about it. And just to segue to trends, I'm going to tell you guys a story. So I like telling stories. So last year was a very difficult, especially month of June, was a very difficult part of the country for this particular country, especially us young people. And obviously, there's one thing that started happening around the world, which was kusalimiwa. All right? So watu wakaanza kusalimiana. Simesikia story? Namba inawekwa kwa mtandao, watu wanajaa kwa social media, kwa your personal messages. So I want you to hold that thought, because I'll come back to it. Because some of the messages that are sent to people privately, some of us who are privy to, are not the best. But I'm going to tackle the public aspect first before I go into the private. So I want you to take a look at the screen behind us. I hope you can be able to see, and we'll be able to move probably for that.